Hello everybody. Um, Another 5D video on relationship. I think it's a very important this video. Why do I think that though? If you take a look at it throughout your soul relationships, first of all, the relationship that you have at the 3D, and you told that when you get together with your partner and you're gonna get the physical, the heart, and you're gonna strive up for the soul relationship. It doesn't work. You still, when you evolve and you move up, you're still gonna bring some with you, uh, kind of like the memories, the stuff that happen with you. You're gonna be carrying this luggage or baggage inside of you. It's gonna be happen also like before you were getting married, with all the relationships that you had before. You kind of like when you bring it into the your marriage, that is the same issue. If your partner acting a certain way, your partner acting on a certain triggers inside of you that brings this memories inside of you. In the 4D, that is basically the same thing. Throughout talking to so many of the twin flames, I see that pattern kind of repeating itself. He acting like this, he acting like that, and they pick up some names. Specifically, the females, they're getting a lot of kind of like using the good words, if you know what I mean. Good. Um, the males, they have the same thing. She acting same like this or same like that. They comparing the relationship of the 4D or the 3D with the previous relationships, and becomes a kind of like a giant mess inside of it, because those are the things they brings out the memories, they brings out the experience. And it's very important when you go into the 5D, you to do one very important part, which is to let go of the luggage. And that luggage, you're not going to need it in a 5D. And it's very important that during this process, when the two people comes together in the 5D, they're going to be working on this issue. They're going to be working on this part of the past relationships, and they're going to be working on the healing the wounds. If you look at it on one of the previous videos, so that's the time when I was drawing with two pieces, they coming together, two pieces of wood, they have the same relief, which is they kind of like a male and female part coming in together. That's how that's going to be, because that together keeps them together, because this is the place, the 5D, where the souls actually comes in together. And the souls understand that it's very important to heal this part, because you might going to do something that's gonna trigger something from his or hers past relationship, depends on what you are. It's the same thing, the partner that you have now in 5D, they will trigger the same things from relationships that you have from the past. And if you watch the previous video, in the previous video I explained um, that was the part of the infinite, that in the 5D it's very important to maintain this 5D balance. You don't want to have any more the ups and downs, and you don't want to have any more taking one situation from the negative or the positive aspect of it. Because during this position of these aspects, when your partner brings the negative issue of previous relationships, guess what happens? You comparing it to the same pattern wave of what you have as the previous relationship. So you're comparing it to the both two, and you're like, well, it's kind of like the same. Well, it's not the same though. It's not the same person. And you will find out that during those comparing, you will understand the important part of the healing. This is the time when the both two in a 5D, their main position is that balance. That is the main goal. Not to get off of the 5D, because when the triggers comes in, you get off of balance of this 5D. And when you go back to the 3D or 4D, which is depends on what trigger comes in. You will be, I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with this. This is crap. I want my 5D. And when you say this, I want my 5D, so is your partner. They don't want you to suffer, or they don't want you to suffer. And now, if you look at the previous video, the issue, it becomes not his, not mine, becomes our issue. And I picked up some few quotes, so we can go over it, those quotes. This specifically, it's what I'm referring to. If you carry all bricks from your past relationship to your new one, you will end up building the same house that fell apart before. Now in the 5D, you totally get this. In a 5D, you don't want to have any part of any 3D or any 4D. This doesn't resonate anymore. And when you enter the relationship into the 5D, you let go of all the breaks, of all the old part. The same demolition process that happened when you cross from 3 to 4D. This is the same demolition process. Only difference right now, here's the things works. Here the things are based off reality. Here the things are based off the partnership to maintain the balance of the energy of love that keeps the boat staying into 5D, because the main goal, it is that staying in a 5D to become a permanent, not to be a temporary. So very good part right here is the society. The society will judge you no matter what a level of consciousness you are. The society can go ahead and they can judge you in a 3D, because they're gonna say, are you crazy? What are you doing? They can, of course, judge you in a 4D, because you can't do this, because my reality is an opposite way. You don't say the right truth, you're not the right teacher, you're not the right thing, I am, which is totally ego, which is related into the 3D. So when you coming into the 5D, this, it's not really going to matter to you. You're totally not going to give a crap, not going to give a damn about a society, simply because what you is speak the truth. And when you say this, speaking of the truth, you will go ahead and see the truth inside of it. And when you breaking it up, your 4D or your 3D relationship, depends how you jump and how you cross into the 5D, you will understand that it doesn't matter who it's gonna bother. You're just gonna go and go for it with your partner, because it's all a matter about the truth. Because the truth will bother a lot of people. The truth will bother relationships, that you had. It will bother people that know you from before, because now you're a new person. They have to get to know you, who you are. You change all of a sudden. Um, and you have to understand that when the two people comes together, everything else as a society or surrounding or everything that goes around, all of a sudden it's gonna fade out, including the relationship you had before. And to the 5D relationship, this is a very good quote. Today expect something good to happen to you no matter what occurred yesterday. Realize the past no longer holds you captive. If it can only continue to hurt you if you hold on to it. Let the past go, and a simply abundant the world awaits. Right in here, through this quote, the both two individuals into the 5D, they not only understand the comprehension level of the past, of letting it go of the past, they understand it's a very crucial. They understand the very good part of what happened. And throughout the communications, when you're in a 5D, the communications are exactly like it was pictured into the twin flames, which is 18 hours or 12 hours or whatever, how many hours you can talk feels like a 5 minutes. And during those communications and those talks and review the past relationships, your partner will help you heal the wounds from the past relationships. Simply because your past relationships, they did not see the love that you carry inside of you in the soul. The soul was never brought out because on the other side, they didn't want it to bring nothing. Only they wanted to do is take. In the 5D relationship, it's I bring and you bring. I both brings the whole parts of themselves, and you will understand when you're in the 5D, in order to get to the right level, you're not bringing only your body, your heart, your mind, and everything else in the 5D. You bring your soul into the relationship. You give up your soul in the name of the relationship, which is a very high level of consciousness that exists into. And hold on to the past prevents this happiness to be, prevents this part of you to be actually happy. And both individuals on these 5D relationships do whatever they can to let go of the past, because the past hurts both individuals. For example, if I trigger her, remind her of her husband or remind her of someone into it, she goes to the negative side. So when she goes to the negative side, she goes down back into the 3D or the 4D relationship, and she begins to feel the same energies of it. But I didn't act and react in a way to her husband or her friend, wherever the relationship is, like them. I explain myself why I act like this, which is have a totally different positions of what was in her past. And that's why when you talk like this and you have the communications between us, the 5D relationship comes back on and it stays there, and you understand what happened in their relationships. Why do they fail? Why did they didn't work? And you understand everything. and you don't want to bring that past into the new relationship that you have. And here it becomes the part of understanding the true relationship in 5D. A true relationship is someone who accepts your past, supports your present, loves you, and encourages your future. That love that exists into the 5D, that is the moment when you bring everything, even your soul, to the table, into the relationship. You accept your partner's past, whatever it's the current situation, but the most important part, loves you and encourage your future. And when that part comes in, when they accept your past is no longer going to be a part of the relationship. They accept your past, and you as a partner accept their past. And that's how, by accepting of that past is no longer between them two. And when you heal that past, the relationship begins even more stronger. Supports your present, which just means current situations are changed. Something happened with the current situations, and they support your presence of now. The both two individuals on the 5D, they understand that it doesn't matter what's going on, it has to be maintained a 5D connection. So that support, it could be any kind of support. It could be taking it from emotional support. You can take it from an energy level, standard support, moral support, financial support. If you have to add into it any kind of support, you're going to get it, because right now in the 5D, you understand there is no you and I. You take that out of the equation. You understand it's only us. And this is accepted. And once this is accepted, you will understand that you love them and they love you. And they encourage for the one beautiful, beautiful future. One beautiful future where you state into the 5D conscious level all the time. And that is your goal. That is your goal, because the soul wants that happiness for you. You finally arrived to the place where the two individuals accept all the ugliest parts of everything that they had, but they understand it's more important about their future. And this is coming up right after the healing, after everything gets healed, after everything goes completely, the garbage is out, the 3D is out, the 4D is out, the past relationships, everything goes out of the way, and you will understand, I don't care what happened yesterday, I'm going to love you today. It's what happy ever after it's made of. It's all about the present. And when you have this present part inside of you, that present part right here of happy ever after, it's going to be maintained from both individuals as they ever dreamed. They dream for this happy ever after. You dream from that happy ever after when it's the first time you fall in love. You dream about this happy ever after when you had your 3D dimensions conscious level when you get married, you have this happy ever after into the 4D, where the duality was so much and the fights were so much that you see that that relationship going nowhere. Compared to here in the 5D, the both two individuals, they want to focus on the present because the present is happy ever after. When you always live into the present with love, that's what's going to maintain all the time the relationship strong forever. And that's what, when you go into that level of conscious, you will understand how the two individuals, they live in love, happy ever after. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will love your comments and be loved.